How about joining me in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Hello, everybody. We have time for public comment.
They're from Murphy Tractor. They were just.
Oh, okay. I just knew who they were. Okay. So don't have any public comment. We'll move on to the minutes. I'd like to approve the minutes of June 11th. First, do I have a motion to approve the minutes of July 11th? June 11th?
I so move, Mr. Chairman.
I'll second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Passes 2-0.
Abstain.
I entertain a motion to approve the minutes from June 18th.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Passes 2-0 with 1 abstention. Commissioner Paul. Okay, commissioners' comments and committee reports.
I have a NEK multi-county health meeting tonight in Hiawatha. Also have a NECAP meeting Thursday night, but I believe that is our Farm Bureau meeting, so probably have to miss the NECAP meeting. And also have the environmental services Thursday morning in Troy. So I've got 3 committee meetings this week.
So are you farming this month?
Well, as long as it's raining, I'm not missing much.
Eric, something to bring up is we had on the workshop this morning, but we need to appoint a pharmacist for the county health department.
And I've brought that up and to them. I emailed them directly, and since we do not dispense those medications, I was told that we do not need a pharmacist, but so I will double check tonight with that. I was well aware that we needed to, if one was needed, that we needed to have a recommendation by now.
Okay, David Butler told me that Roger Reynolds would serve. But again, he's not going to serve for a long time, probably.
Mm-hmm.
So there's also the pharmacist that lives here that has a pharmacy in Troy.
Okay.
Could be a choice, but I thought maybe we had to statutorily have a pharmacist consultant. So
I did too, and so after that was brought to my attention, I emailed Christina Romaine and told her that, and she said they did not believe they needed to have one, and they were looking into it, and I told her that the timeline was the end of this month. So, and I haven't heard anything back since then, but I will double check tonight since I'm going to be in that capacity
if
tonight.
we need one, I'll push Roger. You can push Roger too.
Okay, if you have the contact, I will get with you or have that directed to you. That would be fine.
If we don't need to, then just.
I'll bring it up next week. I'll give you an update on that next week.
Bill, do you have anything?
I don't have anything, Mr. Chairman.
I guess I don't have anything either.
Anybody attend the Farm Bureau last night? Did you go to it, Eric? Farm Bureau last night at FNL?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I didn't think I had it on my calendar.
Well, maybe I got the wrong night. You know anything about it? Okay.
Okay, report of elected officials and department heads. Okay, new business before the board. Wes Lanner, Emergency Management IT Director. Approval of Emergency Operations Plan.
Good afternoon.
Mr. Chairman,
Okay, so I'm here with the Atchison County Emergency Operations Plan. We had it completed and submitted to KDIM, Kansas Division of Emergency Management. And they went through the whole plan and approved it. So I got this letter from KDIM, and it says the purpose of this letter is to provide the status of the Atchison County Emergency Operations Plan, or EOP, in accordance with state statute K.S.A. 48929D. But Atchison County submitted to the Kansas Division of Emergency Management is approved pending adoption. So they've approved it. I need the commission to adopt it. Please complete and submit a signed copy of your promulgation within 90 days of this review process, and the plan will be completed. Our plan is in compliant with all Kansas planning standards, including SARA Title II, ADA compliancy, and NIMS requirements. Our plan will expire March 31st, 2024. So we have to review this annually and send any updates that we do annually down to KDM. But then every 5 years we have to completely revamp and adjust all of our plans to the new Kansas Planning Standards Act because they change. So here is the copy or the resolution that I will need you guys to approve adopting
This is one.
And this is not a public document, so not open to Quora or open public record. It's a protected document.
So the chair would entertain a motion to approve resolution number 2019 dash.
Let's look it up.
1453.
1453, a resolution of the Board of County Commissioners of Atchison, Kansas, promulgating the Atchison County Operations Fund. That's our operations plan. Any discussion?
I'll make that motion.
It's been moved. Do I have a
I'll
second?
second it.
Moved and seconded. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Passes 3-0.
After you submitted that, didn't you get some kind of acknowledgement that it was a very good job or something on your book?
One of the best in the state because we do it ourselves instead of hiring an outside firm to do it. And so it's very detailed towards our county instead of a boilerplate emergency operations plan.
Who all participates in the review of that?
In the review of this.
Yeah, I mean your committee.
So I work with every ESF emergency support function in the county, and we yearly have a meeting, and all of them go through their respective sections and give me any updates that need to happen, and then it's sent down to KDM, and they have planners that review it to make sure that we meet and hit all their expectations.
Anything else, Mike?
That's all I got.
Okay, I'll be reading that later.
Much.
Yeah. So, I guess I'm waiting for Roger here, but in the meantime, I do have a purchase order against County General. This is, the vendor is Fox Theater Atchison. We've committed to participate in a $25,000 donation to this project. This is the second payment of $8,333.33. The chair will entertain a motion to approve the purchase order.
I so moved, Mr. Chairman.
I'll second.
It's moved and second. Is there any further discussion?
We have one more payment and then
This is the second payment.
we fill our commitment 3 times.
Okay, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Passes 3-0. And this is the 25th. Well, we're waiting for Roger to get here. I might mention that I guess we don't have a big crowd here, but with the public, there's a grant writing workshop being held at the put on by K.S.A. It's being held at the Atchison Public School Board of Education Community Room at 626 Commercial. It includes its registration is $20, includes lunch and handouts. So anybody interested in doing grant writing either for the county or otherwise, it's sponsored by the Atchison County Extension Service and Kansas State Research and Extension. So,
Is there anybody in our organization that does grant writing or in the county?
That's what I'm aware of.
There's certainly a lot of grants available, but we do come into grants.
It's kind of a specialized field. I mean, you can have somebody write a grant if it's not in the language that's preferred, it does not get accepted. So, you know, it's kind of an art.
Commissioner Paul, no, you're probably correct that we're not taking advantage of as many grants as we could. But again, we have to know what they are, and we'd have to know who could write the grant.
I don't know if there's anybody that has kind of a knack for such a thing, or we may encourage them to maybe take on that sometime.
Yeah, I think rely on Mark, associated with Mark now for grant writing.
I don't know if they provide those services or not. But
Well, I thought that was one
I'm not really sure what services they do provide.
I think they do. I think there's probably other grants beyond their
large grants.
capabilities.
Yeah, I'd like to have a rehash of what grant what Mark does. Though we haven't been invited to join at this point. But I'd still like to have a rehash of what they do for us. I'm not really clear on that anymore. So, okay. Any old or unfinished business before Roger gets up? I don't think so. Pat, do you want to do a county council updates?
We talked about adding some bridges to the resolution that you had passed on bonding due to, I guess, maybe a change in emphasis on what projects to take on. Communicated with Gilmore and Bell as bond counsel. Under the current resolution that was adopted in section 504, it does allow for you to reallocate the proceeds of those bonds. There are two resolutions that need to be adopted, plus there needs to be approval by the Kansas Attorney General before that can be done. I had asked for them to prepare the two resolutions. I didn't get a response about the time frame on when those would be done, but they certainly know that we're waiting for them. There was some other additional information that they requested involving the bridge projects, and that was provided to them on Friday. So,
will the approval of the Attorney General be handled by Gilmore and Bell, or do we have to?
Yeah, my understanding is that that's not uncommon. I did some Googling and tried to find some other. There are several places that have adopted our resolution word for word, at least in section 504. I wasn't able to find specimens of other resolutions that did that part, but my understanding from talking with Garth was that that was not a real difficult process to get them to approve it. Essentially, they're checking to make sure that they're public projects and that they're not. It's not a complicated process. So just making sure that they're within the authority of the resolution. So I hope to have that next week, but I'm not promising to have it.
I hope you have it next week so we can start moving ahead. I'll talk about this one. Anything else, Pat?
No.
Okay.
You say you talked about this last week?
Okay, I have a purchase order, an invoice. Is Roger supposed to be here? I haven't, kind of waiting on him.
This is for the culverts.
This is for the
Invitation to culverts.
This is for the shared bridge with Atchison County.
Oh, Leavenworth County.
Leavenworth County. Okay, while he's getting here, this morning we talked about doing repairs on 6 culverts that we think we need to have someone outside the road and bridge department do these. We're going to do we're going to have people invite for sealed bids to repair or replace culverts. The bids will be accepted but no later than 1 p.m. on July 16th, and then we'll have a bid opening on July 16th here at the courthouse. I understand Eric Rogers planning on doing a pre-bidding conference so people can ask any questions. Chair will entertain a motion to approve the bid process for these 6 culverts.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Passes 3-0.
Was there a date listed for the conference ahead of time?
No, I think he's going to get the date set. So.
Okay. I was just
Okay.
thinking.
Are we gonna have these as a group bid out or individually?
I think it can be individually.
The last time we did culverts, we did pick bids individually. So I think it'd be our choice at the time based upon the information we received. Okay, we've been working on I guess for about 4 or 5 years, a bridge project that is shared by Atchison County and Leavenworth County, just west of Rollins Road. And through an interlocal agreement, we came to an agreement that they would share the cost of this bridge by a 50-50 split. And I have a purchase order, I have an invoice to send to the Atchison County to the Leavenworth County for half the cost, $71,817.50. I return a motion to approve this invoice and approve the 50-50 split.
I only have one question, if I can, Mr. Chairman. Have we got the easement ground purchased with Mr.
We have a verbal agreement to purchase it. We don't have signed documents back.
I
And there
feel
are 2 landowners, but I don't view that as being a problem.
I would feel much more comfortable if we approved this and we got the ground easement purchased.
Do we know if Leavenworth has their easement? They're
Where to do the acquisition,
on our side, aren't they? Leavenworth
No,
is
we're-
theirs?
No, sir.
where to do the acquisition, but those costs are shared.
Okay, the cost of shit.
Yes.
Okay, Commissioner Paul wants to hold till we,
Can you get this by next week? Okay.
Probably, yeah.
I would
Yeah.
like to bring it up next week if we could.
If
And that's just my opinion. You guys might.
but we can't build a bridge until we have the right of way. So I mean that's a true. The thing is, they have to do the final engineering. It would just slow the process down a little bit. But a week is not a big deal. We've talked about this for 4 years.
I'm fine either way. I mean, I don't see a problem with a week.
So are you making a motion to table this till next week?
If we can get the easement signed, yes, taken care of.
I'll second that.
Okay, so it's been moved to table this till next week. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Table till next week. Okay. We didn't.
You like my pen, guys?
Do we have an executive? Do we need an executive session?
Get everything back.
Another chance for public comment. So we have some public here.
Here comes the-
Here comes Roger. We got a little ahead of you, Roger. So
What's that?
we got a little ahead of you. Come on up.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'm just running a little behind.
Okay.
That's fine.
Bill wants. I guess we wanted. Probably maybe we should wait till next week till we have the acquisition of land first, or
For the approval of the, does that make a difference? I
Cost
mean,
share.
I don't think it makes a difference. What we're asking for, first off, I need an approval on to proceed with the bidding of culverts, as discussed this
We've
morning.
we've already done.
You've already done that. Okay. Pass these around to them. What we sent to Leavenworth County, this is a copy of what we sent. It basically shows the location, the prelim design, and the estimate. I can get you a copy.
You actually emailed me the exact same thing.
The idea is I then received the email from them requesting that we bill them for half of it. What I want to do is I want to authorize the clerk's office to send out an invoice to them for half of the amount. I would wait until half the amount comes in, but then you need to be prepared to proceed with the design and construction of it once that occurs. In the meantime, Pat needs to work toward making sure that we acquire the right-of-way necessary for this from the adjacent owner. Yeah, does that make sense?
Yeah, verbally they've agreed.
Yeah. So here's the point. I think this needs to be done in a formal manner because I don't want them to run it through their commission, approve a check, and send it this direction unless you're ready to proceed with it. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. So we tabled this and approving the project until we had the right-of-way purchased.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, I don't think you need to approve or sign that contract. There's a contract in there to sign. I don't think you want to sign that contract until you get their check back for half of the money.
So we need a motion to approve sending them the invoice.
That's correct.
So I would entertain a motion to send Leavenworth County 50%.
Coming back to my comment earlier, what if we send them and then the guy decides, well, I want more money for my easement?
Well, it states right on this, in this bid, it says right there what they will build the bridge for unless there is additional steel needed for the, because of structural conditions of the geology. And so it's already set up. The price is already included in it.
I'm talking about the purchase of the ground.
You're right away.
Oh, well, the agreement, the interlocal agreement says they're going to acquire the right-of-way on the Leavenworth side of the line, and we're going to,
Sure.
doesn't it?
I thought we did both. I thought we were to
do
do
both.
both.
They're going to pay us what? half
Well,
of what we-
I know you said that this morning, and that's what I had a slightly.
Well, I was of the misunderstanding of that then.
Well, or I
Mr.
am.
Spicklemar told you other. Different.
Or I am.
Okay.
We
Well-
can sure check on it though.
I would think that if there's a problem on the Leavenworth side, that we would ask them to procure it for us.
I just thought it was strange that we would procure something on their side if it's in their county. I mean, that I don't know if we had jurisdiction.
I think we did this before on a different bridge project, and that's the way it was done. But it was Leavenworth County did the acquisition of right of way on both sides, and they did the permitting, and there was a list of things, but they did all of the permitting, not just. I guess you can't permit half a bridge, but. So that was my understanding that we were to do it, but I could be wrong. So,
I don't know. I thought I had, and I'm not sitting here looking at a copy of his email at the moment, but I thought that it was a split deal, but I could be wrong.
I might have the email somewhere here too.
But in any case, that would not be a condition that
We couldn't proceed with this.
you couldn't proceed with this and still get reliance upon that. We can iron that issue out.
If worse came to worse, we would just refund their money if it was the project failed. enough.
You don't have, as far as I know, you don't have a right to condemn anything on their side of the line. Am I wrong about that, Pat? That would be my opinion.
well, I don't know that we're talking about condemning it, but Yeah, we probably do have authority to condemn property in another county if it's necessary for one of our projects, but I don't want to get boiled down in that because I don't think that's going to be an issue here. But yeah, I think we do have authority to condemn property outside the corporate limits of the county if it's necessary for one of our projects.
Well, I talked to the gentleman and you talked to him, and I just think it'd be better if we had something in writing, but if you don't feel it's that big a deal, we'll go ahead and proceed.
In any case, what would occur, the way this contract is they will produce drawings and we get the drawings back. And if there's additional right-of-way needed, that's when we find out what we additionally would need for right-of-way.
I think we already did that, haven't we? We
No,
know.
we've not. We've gone out ahead of time to get an option to
Agreement.
purchase
Nice.
based upon based upon square footage and determining the price.
With that assumption, with
Yeah.
that assessment,
That's
we really
fine.
need to know what that is going to be, so we need to proceed with this.
I would, after you saying it like that, I would agree.
Okay, am I right that we have a motion?
You asked for the motion, yes.
Did you
And
make
I'll make the motion to accept sending the invoice to Leavenworth County.
I'll second that.
It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, passes 3-0.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And I will check on the acquisition of right-of-way, but
We're talking
we
about
will,
something else, so I'll come down after the meeting.
okay. Thank you.
Thanks.
Okay, moving right along. Presentation, okay, so I don't see anything else on the agenda that needs to be dealt with today, so I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
You want to speak to us after?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
It's been, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
We are now adjourned.
127?
No record.